Hello everybody, I'm the voice of reason and welcome to the My Little Pony What Works lightning round. Seeing how I'm very far behind on the reviews, I decided why not do 5 reviews in one? Now these are just my immediate thoughts on the episode, so no in-depth analysis except for when it calls for it. This is going to be an abridged version of my review style, so with that said, let's get started. Magic Duel. I really have only one thing to say. I think I have a contender for new favorite episode. This was the episode I was most looking forward to this season, the Twilight Trixie Grudge Match, and M.A. Larson delivered. Everything about this episode kicked major flank. The story was incredibly investing. I was on the edge of my seat trying to figure out how is Twilight going to best Trixie. In the end, Twilight beat Trixie at her own game, Illusion. In addition, we have great character interactions, including Zecora as the second mentor to Twilight, or the rest of the main six trying to deal with Trixie's tyranny. Also, we have to mention Fluttershy is a great sleeper character in this episode. She was the only one able to relay a message to Twilight about the Alicorn amulet. On the subject of Trixie apologizing, I'm fine with it, and actually look forward to seeing her in the future. The animation was stunning, the music dramatic when it needed to be, and I was on the floor laughing every time. With the callbacks to the previous seasons, it felt like a Season 1 episode with Season 2's writing. With the moral slightly vague, as it is with most M.A. Larson episodes, the moral works. The magic of friendship is more powerful than any magical amulet. Overall, I give Magic Duel a perfect score, 4 stars across the board. Sleepless in Ponyville. This is another highly anticipated episode where Scootaloo is finally the focus, brought to us from new writer Cory Powell. Is it the best episode this season like everyone is clamoring about? No, this isn't the best episode. There's one thing holding this episode back from being the best. Luna. Now don't get me wrong, Luna from an entertainment perspective is fine. We learn more about what she does at night outside of raising the moon and lighting up the stars. She helps out ponies in her dreams. It's kind of like Freddy Krueger, only she won't kill you afterwards. But from a story perspective, it's distracting! Luna's presence disrupts the flow of the narrative. Seeing Luna quickly glanced at in Scootaloo's first dream just takes you out of the moment from Scootaloo's fears. Or, better yet, when Luna's presence has the plot grind to a complete halt at the beginning of the third act for exposition. That is not good storytelling. Other than that, all of the feels. The big focus was on the Rainbow Dash Scootaloo relationship. Scootaloo always looked up to Rainbow Dash like a big sister, and always wanted to be seen as brave and cool in her eyes. However, the scary stories demonstrated she had fears like Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle. Only the fears worsened when she didn't come clean. As the moral stated by Luna, the nightmares will only get worse if she didn't admit her true fears. As a result, well, let's just say Rainbow Dash moved up in the best pony ranks to 4th. This episode I consider an animation fan's wet dream. All the things I mentioned before in my previous reviews that were greatly improving are here. Use of shadow? Check. Camera movement that includes a 360 shot? Check. Facial expressions? Best of the season. Last thing to note, the scene at the waterfall almost had me crying tears of joy. This episode was beautiful. I give it 3.5 stars out of 4. All that's really left to say is, Cory Powell, welcome to the writing team. And it could have been a lot worse. You could have had Meriwether Williams' first episode. Oh, and speaking of Meriwether Williams, Wonderbolt Academy. Oh, better man the shotguns and bunker down. It's a Meriwether Williams episode. Okay, I kid, but that's really the reaction I have to seeing her name in the writing credits. Meriwether was her first impression on the fandom and left a bitter and painful taste in our mouths. And if you haven't noticed, 3 of her episodes are on my top 10 worst list. So I sat down to watch and I liked it. I liked an episode by Meriwether Williams. Are we sure the apocalypse didn't happen in 2012? No? Okay. So, yeah, I thought this was a really good episode and redeemed Rainbow Dash in my eyes. The big thing to look at is her relationship with Lightning Dust. A lot have compared the relationship as Season 3 Dash looking back at Season 1 Dash and how she's improved as a character. And yeah, I totally see that. Season 1 Dash is more reckless and cares more about herself in order to prove she's the best, like Maverick from Top Gun. Season 3 Dash, while still having the chance to prove she's the best, is more mindful of the other Pegasi and knows training is serious business. Speaking of Top Gun, while the flying scenes were fantastic, I was hoping for a little more electric guitar in the music score. In terms of humor, Pinkie Pie stole the show. Honestly, she didn't get on my nerves as she did in other episodes. Cough, bridal gossip, cough. One final great scene involves the moral. When Rainbow Dash tells Spitfire that Lightning Dust's reckless actions almost killed civilians, she tells Spitfire there's a difference between pushing herself and being reckless. and if being reckless is what it takes to be a Wonderbolt, she quits. This is the most powerful scene I've witnessed since the letter of apology in Ponyville Confidential. The episode has a feeling that you just got a giant weight removed from your chest, and it feels awesome! The only downside of this episode is we don't know if Rainbow is gonna be a Wonderbolt or not. Then again, there were multiple endings to this episode. Also, Cloud Trampoline is fucking impossible! Still, great episode where Rainbow Dash does what she loves. 3 out of 4 stars. Wow, we're on a hot streak with these episodes. How could they possibly ruin it? Apple Family Reunion. Oh boy, another highly anticipated episode where Applejack isn't gonna get upstaged by a gray mare with a wall-eyed stare. Speaking of, where is Derpy? Oh, let's see how this episode turns out. Applejack is in charge of setting up the family reunion, and we get to see the entirety of the Apple family, including Babs Seed for One Bad Apple. However, Applejack loses sight of what's important and needs her family to help her out. Wow, I must be having deja vu or something, because this plot seems like it was from season 1. Oh wait, it is from season 1! It's Applebuck season! They just replaced the friend aspect with the family! You know, when I said Magic Duel felt like a season 1 episode, I didn't mean a complete retread of a season 1 episode. Well, at least the characters are interesting. What characters? All I saw was Applejack who kept reminding the audience, yep, this is my episode! When an interesting character pops on screen, nope, Applejack episode. Babs and Apple Bloom are hanging out, nope, Applejack episode. Granny Smith and meeting with her cousins, nope, Applejack episode. You know, it's really hard to get invested in an episode that has the least interesting of the main 6 interrupting an entertaining scene. Now, this is just in my opinion, but Applejack to me is just boring. But hey, look at the bright side. She finally got a song. Yeah, let's talk about that song. I liked it. I enjoy Raise This Bar, and it's fun to hear Ashley Ball sing a hoedown. However, it's not Applejack's song. Twilight's song, Failure or Success, is about her and the fear of not fulfilling a big task. Find a Pet, while a duet, is Rainbow's song about what she looks for in a pet. So Many Wonders, while I consider really dull, is about Fluttershy and her immediate experience landing on the ground. Becoming Popular is Rarity's dilemma to be amongst the elite. The Smile song is Pinky's song about making everyone feel good, and that makes her feel good. Raise This Barn is a montage song. I don't need to say any more. One thing I will say is good about this episode, it has a lot of heart. The subtle nod that AJ's parents are no longer with him is actually kind of touching. They did try to emulate investment with the family and the episode as a whole, more than I could say for other episodes in the series. They tried, but they utterly failed. I give Apple Family Reunion 2 stars out of 4. Spike at your service. Okay, we had 1 bad episode. That's normal, but there's no possible way we can have 2 bad episodes back to back. Oh wow, this is a disaster just waiting to happen. I'm gonna keep the review of this episode short. I did not care one bit about this episode. The idea of Spike owing a debt to Applejack for saving his life was not interesting in the slightest. Worse yet, it had the biggest continuity gap in the entire show, and that was Spike's quote-unquote help. Spike is not an idiot. He's efficient, he's tidy, and he's an excellent baker. He's everything this episode pulled a 180 on. You know what would make me give a damn about this episode? Spike being in character. Despite the fantastic CG animation of the Timberwolves and the amazing visual and writing gags, this is the least interesting and, dare I say, the worst episode of the season. Final score, 1.5 stars out of 4. An easy skip. And I'm officially caught up. Hope you enjoyed the abridged reviews, and I'll see you next time.